Hi, welcome to our training video for the onboarding process. The onboarding process is the process under which a candidate is after he has accepted an offer letter and up till he actually is enrolled as an employee or joins a company, or in Elixtra terms as till he is sent to HRMS. So here we are logged in again as a recruitment manager, Narendra Bhandari. So we are on his home page, and on his home page you will notice on the left hand most corner a tab called onboarding. So I'm going to press that. In fact, I am on that, and under onboarding choose the offer letter list. The offer letter list will display that Narendra Bhandari has how many candidates to whom offer letters or letter of intent have been issued, and from here he can actually start the onboarding process for certain candidates or view that how many candidates are under the onboarding process. Like for example, from here you can see that Tino Thomas and Sri Harsha K are under onboarding because his status says onboarding started. Now when you come down, you have Alkesh Ghadia for whom onboarding ended. Onboarding can end because in between, even after the candidate has accepted an offer letter, you can actually have a situation where a candidate may not decide to join the company. So those are called dropouts. So here you have Tino Thomas. His onboarding has started because as you saw in the previous video, we had said start onboarding for him. So here you have seen the HR offer letter list. Now let us go to the onboarding summary. Here you can give a date range from and to, and you can select the process. UAE onboarding process for executive or UAE onboarding process for executive. I'm not giving a date range because I would like to view all the candidates under onboarding, and I can actually get a summary based on the candidate, the requisition, the status, but I would like to get a complete picture of all candidates under onboarding process for executive candidates. So here I click on search. So here I have Bahauddin Khazi. His process status is that there are 4 ignored processes and completed are 12. So VS is another candidate, 16 steps completed. See, when you see an action as sent to HRMS, that means that the onboarding has been completed and the candidate is ready to go to HRMS. Sanjay Parmar. In Sanjay Parmar, you can see that only 8 steps. There are total 16 steps, and under onboarding, all 16 steps need to be completed. So now let's come to Tino Thomas, for whom you have 16 pending steps, and through Tino Thomas's onboarding process, we will see in detail what each step means and how we can actually complete this. Onboarding, starting the onboarding of a candidate can be done through a recruitment manager, but to complete the onboarding and make a candidate ready to send to HRMS or enroll as an employee has to be done through an onboarding coordinator. So here we can see that my onboarding coordinators are Abdul Nasir and Shiny Mary Thomas. So let us now log out and log in as Shiny Thomas. And let's enter his password. Okay, so here we are logged in as Shiny Mary Thomas. He is an onboarding coordinator. So as you can see from his dashboard, since he is in charge for the onboarding of various candidates, his widget or his to-do widget has details of various candidates, like for example flight ticket copy for Tino Thomas, passport copy. These are all rejected. These are all the rejected. See, flight ticket copy for Tino Thomas, for example, not started. Employment application form, not started. Passport copy, not started. Accepted offer letter for Tino Thomas, not started because it has not been uploaded simply. Experience certificate, not started. Educational testimonials, not started. Reference check. So primarily Tino Thomas, new onboarding candidate, all steps pending. So let us go and start completing his steps. So all we need to do is, as he's the onboarding coordinator, the only tab that you will see on his page would be onboarding. So here we go to the offer letter list. Oops. So now we come back to the offer letter list. So it says onboarding started. And as you can see, there are various candidates in front of under action. It says remove onboarding or start onboarding. So let us do one thing, that we will complete Tino Thomas, but let us start the onboarding of Mr. VS. So when we say that start onboarding, we are brought to the onboarding page on the candidates overview page, and here, as you can see, all his onboarding steps from the onboarding coordinator Abdul Nasir have been completed, but the onboarding steps from Shiny Mary Thomas are pending. Please note that the onboarding steps can either be selected through choosing the start date, end date and due date, or they can simply you can come here and say completed. Completing of an onboarding step does not require uploading of a document. That means an onboarding step can be completed without the document being uploaded as well. Every time you change the status of an onboarding step, you have to save the same. This seems like a lengthy process, but generally onboarding would not be completed how we are completing it right now. That is, documents and certain procedures. Like for example, if we view the 16 steps, one is the TAR, request for position form, that may come that came, like for example, on 4th of April, and the other steps are getting completed on 10th of April. So it does not matter. I've completed here. And save. Then you come back here. Completed. Then you say save. As you can see, not all steps can be completed through Shiny Thomas, because there are 2 onboarding coordinators, and certain steps are the responsibility of the other onboarding coordinator. For example, the employment application form was a step, and it was the responsibility of Shiny Mary Thomas. But the pre-employment medical, the PEMT, is the responsibility of Abdul Nasir. So that can be completed only by Abdul Nasir and not by Shiny Thomas. Shiny Thomas. Okay, so now, but this candidate is yet not ready to go to be sent to HRMS. His onboarding is yet not complete. To complete his onboarding, what we will have to do is we will have to go to home, and now he will have to wait for Abdul Nasir to complete the steps for VVS. In this case, let's take a shortcut and let's log in as Abdul Nasir, and oops, So here we are logged in as Abdul Nasir. Again, he's an onboarding coordinator, so the dashboard would look the same, just onboarding. So now our mission is to complete VVS's onboarding. So let's simply go to onboarding summary. Again, let's simply say search. Okay, so here we are on VVS, and we simply, under the action button, whenever you have a floppy made, it will take, if you click on that, it will take you to complete the steps. The candidates where you can see SENT to HRMS ready, those are the candidates for whom all the onboarding steps have been completed. Okay, so now we have, let's go completed. Let's go to the pending ones. So simply see, I'm using shortcuts here. In an ideal situation, you're not going to get all the documents together, and neither are all the onboarding steps being completed. But let's say that we're in a hurry to have this guy's onboarding completed quickly. Again, I press completed on his personal resume step and click on save. I can either change the status to completed or select his start date, end date and due date by when this step should be completed. I would like to remind the users once again, uploading of documents is not mandatory for completing the steps. Here, interview evaluation form, completed and save. Then salary fitment, again we say completed and save. Accepted letter of intent, again completed and saved. In front of each step you can put in a remark as well. But as you can see, if I was the onboarding coordinator, I would not put in too many remarks. But that is why I am not. I believe 2 last steps to complete. The PEMT, And here I believe we have completed all the onboarding steps. So now let us go back to the onboarding of VVS, and we have completed all the steps. So now let's go to home, and from home we go to onboarding. Their onboarding, let's go to the onboarding summary now. And when we search for VVS, sorry, I'm going to adjust this a little bit. Yes, if you see the status of VS from the floppy or steps pending has changed to SENT to HRMS. So that's how a candidate is onboarded after his offer letter has accepted up to sending him to HRMS. And that completes our onboarding process and covers our onboarding module. Thank you so much. It has been indeed a pleasure having you on board. Thank you.